Hello, everybody. There's new Nerfs that are coming out on Tuesday, August 17th, and I'm going to give you my reactions and my thoughts about what they're all about. I'm going to get into it right now and check out the first one. Let's see what it is. We've all been talking about Cancatcher's Flow getting nerfed. It goes from a 2 cost to a 3 cost, and changing the mana will affect this card pretty well. They won't be able to pull it off as early, and it's been something that's been long overdue. We'll see how it feels in the meta. It should play out better. Let me hear your comments below what you think about this nerf to Enchanter's Flow. The next card that got nerfed is Elgin. Oh man, this is a hard hitter right here. So looking at the card, they go from 4 mana 2/6 to a 6 mana 4/8. So what they're essentially doing is adding the mana to it so that it doesn't necessarily have that OTK ability, but it's still playable, that if you want to use it to attack base or maybe in combination with a weapon. But it just seems like this card has really been hit. This is interesting in the fact that you're looking at a balance change. So it's yet to be seen what the next couple of cards are that they're nerfing. This is interesting. Here's your nerf to Warlock, Darkglare. This goes from a 2 cost. After your hero takes damage, refresh 1 mana crystal. Now it's a 3 mana. This is essentially what we call a balance change. It still has the same effect of getting the mana crystals. With it going up to 3 mana, though, it's going to be harder to get out on early turns and also cheat out. And the endless cycle of mana that's continued in the archetypes that are happening right now in the Warlock, this will slow that down a little bit. Definitely want to hear, if you're a wild player, what do you think about this nerf? It's kind of expected. The next card up, I knew it would happen, is Battlegrounds Battlemaster. This went from a 5 mana to a 6 mana. It had to happen. Too many times could you play this even on turn 6 with conviction, and it just was way too fast. This is expected. It's a 5 mana to 6 mana. And it's still a strong card, still playable. It's just going to be a little less easy to get this one out on the board, like you've seen many times when you're playing just any class. It's a neutral, and I felt like this card is just overall was just way super powerful. It could have even went to 7 mana, I think, and not totally killed the card. This is a really powerful card. At 5/5/5, it was just OP and completely busted. At 6 mana, it's still powerful enough, so it's a little bit more balanced, but I still think the card is very strong, and I think it will still see play. The next card, called Pack Runner, is a card that went from 2 mana 2/3 to 3 mana 3/4. The same exact effect. It's your balance here. The intent of this is to, again, slow down the meta for Hunter and Base Hunter. You'll also put a little bit of a hit on the Quest Hunter, which I didn't quite expect. So in theory, it was really good. You're like, wow, this card is so insane. And then you go to play it, and it was just kind of not necessarily so great. But this card was one that did play a part in that, and is in every single Face Hunter deck. They won't be able to put big boards out there and kind of get that control and clear it. However, though, it does go to a 3/3/4, so it is an adjustment in the health. So it'll make it a little bit harder to kill, so that at least if you get it down on turn 3, not like it's dead duck. There's not many spells that your opponent have that do 4 damage to a minion. It looks like it's just slowing down things, and that's what needs to be done. Aggro has to slow down a little. So the next card up is Granite Forgeburn. So this card just is a hit to the health. Granite Forgeburn was a 4 mana 4/5. It's now a 4 mana 4/4. It reduces the cost of elementals in your hand and deck by 1. Same exact effect. And I don't think that the health was really that big a problem here with this card. It's kind of out of nowhere. I just think that this is a card that they anticipate would be sort of a problem because it's going to see more play as these nerfs come in. This card was very strong and remains very strong. It's not really about the health on this card, is it? It's more about that mana cheat. And as close as you could get cards in your hand and deck to 0, oh, Blizzard loves that. You know they love that over at Blizzard. They love it. They absolutely love it when you can get those 0 mana cards down there in every class. So you wonder why they print these cards in the first place. I just kind of wish that the team would stop doing these mana cheats. There's too many mana cheats. It's okay if there's a few. It will make for it easier to kill and gain control of the board and have a presence. So that's a good thing. But this card just kind of seems out of nowhere. Boom. Everybody was talking about Conviction being way too powerful and it needed a nerf. Well, here it is. This is Conviction, but instead now it's 2 mana. But you have a card like Carriel Roam, which can then reduce this to 1 mana still. It stops it from going to 0 mana, which would a lot of times happen in decks. So Conviction being a holy spell, it is reduced the cost of when Carriel plays it. So essentially it's still a 1 mana card if you run Carriel Roam and you get it in your hand. You have plenty of ways to draw this and get it in your hand. So it's just overall, this card is really very, very strong. And even at 2 mana, it's still strong. You will see that it's just a later combo. So it did slow down some of the effects of that. You won't see it played out right on, say, turn 5 as much. It's going to be a little slower. We'll have to see what happens. This card is just super powerful. So the next card up is Flesh Giant. Flesh Giant is an 8 mana 8/8. Costs 1 less for each time your hero health change during turn. Now it is a 9 mana, which costs 1 less for each time your hero's health change during your turn. The developer comments on this are as follows. After 2 weeks of monitoring the rapidly evolving United and Stormwind's launch metagame, we are making a few balance changes to slow down the speed of the game by a turn or 2. Overall, this translates to 2 things: limiting the efficiency at which combo decks have access to form a hand. We hope that these changes will give a bit more from slower strategies to find success in this meta, and we'll continue to keep an eye on the live game to see if any further changes are needed. Well, I got a suggestion for you, Hearthstone. Keep 2 eyes on it, not just 1. Keep 2. Keep more than 1 eye on the game. Keep like 2, 3, 10, 100, a million. Keep tons of eyes on the game. Come on, guys, you can do this. Get those eyes on the game. Get them on the game. Get those eyes on the game, not just 1. Don't just keep 1 eye on the game, Hearthstone. Keep at least 2.